Good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about elections in Punjab and the CM candidate. This editorial is related to elections and polity. Not that important, but a lot of words are there. They are very important from the exam point of view. Besides the editorial, today you're going to work on errors, scrambled sentences after a long time, fillers, and also misspelled words, even misspelled words after a long time. Let us go to the editorial, and before we go for analysis, quick look at the words. The first one, gamble. Gamble goes with everyday English. You all must be knowing gambling is not advisable. Gambling is very dangerous. So, what is gamble? There are two meanings. One is the typical meaning betting. When you bet your money on something, that is nothing but gambling. But another meaning of the word gamble, take risky action in the hope of a desired result. Gamble on something. It goes with decision making, risky action in the hope of a desired result. Elevation. Usually this goes with buildings, but elevation also goes with a person's position. Raise or lift something to a higher position. Someone goes from a particular position to a higher position. We use the word elevation. Rivalries. This is a familiar word. Competition for the same objective or superiority in the same field. Rivals, rivalries. It is nothing but competition. Reticent. This is an important word we have got for the first time. What is the meaning of reticent? Usually it goes with individuals, a person who does not speak much, not revealing one's thoughts or feelings readily. Reticent person, you can say, not willing to express his views or disclose his views, his or her views. Plea is a legal term. It also goes with polity, everyday English. A request made in an urgent and emotional manner. Plea. You can also think of the word plead. Homogeneous. This is an important word, though you may be knowing. Homo means same. Opposite, hetero. Homogeneous means of the same kind, alike. Minuscule. You can make out. Mini means what? Very small. Extremely small or tiny. Volatile, literal meaning, easily evaporated at normal temperatures. But in the context, usually when we say something is volatile, that goes with a situation. It is changing quickly, not firm, not stable. Entrenched, an important word. Firmly established and difficult or unlikely to change. Ingrained. You can also think of the expression deep rooted. Unraveling, an important word. Investigate and solve or explain something that is puzzling or complicated. Unravel the mystery. Usually it goes with the word mystery. Axis, an imaginary line about which a body rotates. Usually we talk in terms of Earth's axis, but party also you can say axis, the main thing on which everything depends on. A resentment, I think we have got this word recently. Bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. Indignation, annoyance, or anger because of unfair treatment. Audacious has two different meanings. One is positive, the other one is negative. Positive, showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Audacious means bold. Another meaning, rude, cheeky, not polite. Audacious behavior. Ripple, it goes with everyday English, but in this context, a different meaning. What does it mean, ripple? A small wave or series of waves on the surface of water, especially as caused by a slight breeze or an object dropping into it. If you drop a stone into a particular water body, then you see the ripples. Galvanize, another important word, shock or excite or cause someone take action or excite someone into taking action. Aspiration, you're all aspirants. What does it mean? A hope or ambition of achieving something. Prominence, a prominent personality, prominent person. Prominence, the state of being important, famous, or noticeable. So these are the words, many words, more than 10 words are important. They all go with effective English. That way important from the exam point of view. Now let us go to the editorial. Bold gamble. Bold means what? ready to do something, ready to take risk. And gamble. Gamble has two meanings, as I said. One is it goes with betting, a negative connotation. Another word, another meaning of the word gamble, to take the risk, do something, and if you do that, a bit of, to some extent, risk is involved. Then we say gamble. He's gambling with the new candidate. He's gambling with a new policy. Means he's trying out. In a way, it is risky. Coming to, I feel better. Thank you very much. Bold gamble, bold, ready to face any situation. What is the main idea of this editorial? The projection of Channi as CM candidate was forced on Congress, but is the right decision. Here, if you, I don't know how many of you remember, once or twice I did editorials related to Punjab context, and there was one CM, earlier, former CM, Amarinder Singh. After that, Sidhu came into picture, something went wrong, and now it is like, because of that, a new CM, Channi, as CM candidate. He is a present CM. Now, this editorial is all about the projection, projecting a particular candidate, in this case Channi as CM candidate, was forced on Congress. Was forced on Congress means it is in past passive voice, but they have been compelled to do that. Was forced means I was forced to do something, means I have been compelled, I was compelled. Here, was forced on Congress the situation, but is a right decision. Editorial says the main idea, it says Congress has been compelled or forced to announce Channi as a CM candidate. At the same time, it says it is a right decision. Now, obviously, it has to provide the background information, how it started, how it all started. Let us go to that. If the elevation of Charanjit Singh Channi as Chief Minister in September 2021 was an accidental outcome of internal rivalries in the Congress, the party's announcement that he would continue in the post if it wins the assembly election is a bold gamble. The same idea. What is a bold gamble? Announcing that he is going to, the present CM, Mr. Charanjit Singh, he is going to be the next CM once Congress wins elections. He is going to continue as a CM. Editorial opines it is a bold gamble, not bold decision, bold gamble. If the elevation, there's one word over here, elevation means what? Raise or lift something to a higher position. I told you last time also, when you listen here, if you come across a word, the meaning of which you know, please write immediately, type immediately. That way, what happens? You can consolidate your vocabulary, you can consolidate the words. That helps in the long run. Being passive listeners, not very useful in the real sense, but sometimes you have to be a passive listener, sometimes active. Imagine you know the word rivalries, then write the meaning immediately. If the elevation goes with the buildings, one thing, another thing, raise the standards, elevate position. He has been elevated to the post of the chief minister from deputy CM, means what? Raised a position. If the elevation of Charanjit Singh Channi as Chief Minister in September 2021, going back, was an accidental outcome of internal rivalries, internal politics, any party experiences on and off internal politics or internal rivalries. Someone wants to become the leader, someone wants to become the CM. Obviously, you come across a lot of politics, any party, that is universal. Rivalries in the Congress. Rival means what? A competitor. Rivalries, competition for the coveted post. The party's announcement that he would continue. This Charanjit Singh became the CM of Punjab. He became accidentally. It was not at all. No one expected. In fact, people thought Sidhu would become, but instead of Sidhu, it was Charanjit Singh, and he came in place of Amarinder Singh. The party's announcement that he would continue in the post if it wins the assembly election is a bold gamble. Now, editorial has to justify why it is a bold gamble. The editorial goes in that particular direction. The Congress has been reticent in projecting a singular leader in any state and has often taken the plea that it believed in collective leadership. This sentence talks about the stand taken by the Congress party when it comes to promoting a particular individual as a leader, and its stand is it believes in collective leadership. That means the party does not want to project an individual as a strong contender for the post of CM. The Congress has been reticent. Reticent is an important word, means it goes with effective English. Usually, introverts, they are reticent. Introvert is one thing, does not mingle with others, a person who does not mingle with others, but reticent to speak less. They don't express their emotions, their feelings. In this context, it talks about the Congress party being reticent in projecting a singular leader in any state, not only in the state of Punjab, but any state for that matter. They have been reticent when it comes to projecting an individual as a leader, and has often, why, what could be the reason, has often taken the plea. Plea, again, an important word. It means a request made in an urgent and emotional manner. Taken the plea in this context, it means a stand that it believed in collective leadership, not individual leadership, collective leadership. The announcement of a CM candidate, though not unprecedented, is rare for the Congress. Here it says the announcement. Now the context talks about Congress party announcing the CM candidate in case it wins the elections. This announcement of a CM candidate, though not unprecedented, though not unprecedented. Precedented happened before. Unprecedented never happened before. Though not unprecedented, that means what? It happened in the past, but is rare for the Congress, not a regular thing, once in a blue moon. And in this instance, necessitated by the uniquely volatile social dynamic in Punjab at the moment. As editorial says, Congress has been forced, or Congress has been compelled to announce the CM name of the CM candidate, and in this instance, necessitated means what? Because of something, they are forced to do something by the uniquely volatile social dynamic. Volatile, usually it goes with, it's a science term. In this context, it means something that is not firm, something that changes quickly, something that is, you can also think of words like fickle, not being firm. So, volatile, social dynamic in Punjab at the moment. Entrenched, an important word. Entrenched means deep rooted, firmly established, and difficult or unlikely to change. You can also think of the word ingrained and deeply rooted. Entrenched social alignments in the state appear to be unraveling. Unraveling means what? Investigate and solve or explain a puzzle. Slowly they're unraveling. The mystery has been unraveled. Means what? They have solved the mystery. Here, entrenched social alignments in the state appear to be unraveling, and the Congress is trying to knit together a viable electoral majority. Knit together, in this context, knit together means bring together a viable electoral majority with a Dalit face as its axis. They want to bring the different factors together, knit together, and they want to use a Dalit face as its axis. Axis is a main thing, main line. Actual meaning of the word axis, an imaginary line about which a body rotates. We all know Earth's axis tilted at a particular angle. Punjab has close to 32% population of the scheduled caste community, while the Jat Sikh population is over 20%. If you go to Punjab, you come across, we always use, there are two words. There's one particular word, Sikhs. The word Sikh has two different connotations. One is actual Sardarji, Sikh we say, and the other community, Jat Sikh. Here it talks about that community. These Jats, they don't wear the turban. They don't wear the turban, and they are different. They are not the regular what the image we have, Sardarji. They are different. Jat Sikhs are different, and these are very powerful in the state of Punjab. Punjab has close to 32% population of the scheduled caste community, while the Jat Sikh population is over 20%. But since 1977, the state has never seen a non-Jat Sikh chief minister. They are very powerful, dominant factor when it comes to Punjab elections. And but since 1977, here the previous sentence talks about scheduled caste community 32%, whereas Jat Sikh population is over 20%. But since 1977, the state has never seen a non-Jat Sikh chief minister, be it of the Congress party or the Shiromani Akali Dal, indicating the political dominance of the Jat Sikh community. Politically, they're very dominant, Jats. I would like to use, usually we say Jats, we don't say Jat Sikh. Perhaps the writer wants to differentiate Jats. So these are very powerful, politically speaking. Gyani Jail Singh was the last non-Jat Sikh chief minister of Punjab between 1972 and 77, former president of India. And he was a chief minister, non-Jat Sikh chief minister between 1972 and 77. The Congress has usually shied away from pronounced social justice politics. This is a bit difficult to understand, but if you have a bit of awareness related to politics, social justice, terms like social justice, the Congress has usually shied away, means avoided, from pronounced, means highlighted or emphasized, social justice politics. And in that sense, this is an audacious move which will have ripple effects in its strategy elsewhere too. For the first time, usually it shied away from pronounced social justice politics, not on the basis of caste or community. And in that sense, now it is focusing, it wants to highlight or project a Dalit face as a CM candidate. The editorial thinks or opines this is an audacious move. Audacious is an important word. Showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks, one meaning. That is a meaning in this context. The other meaning, a rude, audacious behavior. So, audacious move, which will have ripple effects in its strategy elsewhere too. In other states, because of this decision, it is going to make an impact and it is going to have ripple effects. The word ripple, when you take a stone and you throw into a body of water, a lake or any water body, you see the water in the form of circles, it keeps moving. Those are known as ripples, but ripple effects means impact at a different level altogether. The dimensions are going to be different. Now he talks about the stand or the views of the party leader, Rahul Gandhi. Party leader Rahul Gandhi is driving a more accommodative caste politics. Accommodative caste politics, driving a more, here not literally driving, means he's trying to uh, bring in accommodative caste politics, means bringing in different castes or groups, but the approach is evidently facing resistance from within the party and outside. Because of this stand taken by Rahul Gandhi to bring in accommodative caste politics, means some groups are included, some groups are not included, or doing justice to different caste groups, but the approach is evidently facing resistance, means within the party some leaders are not happy about that. Resistance from within the party and outside. Dalits in Punjab are not a homogeneous category. There is one important word. Homogeneous means what? Of the same kind. Dalit is a term, but the editorial says Dalits in Punjab are not a homogeneous category. They are divided into 39 castes. Look at this. This is something new for me also. They are divided into 39 castes, clustered under different religions and sects, locally called Deras. There's a general term. But total how many castes Dalits in Punjab are not? Obviously, they are a heterogeneous group or category. They're divided into 39 castes, clustered under different religions. They have their own religions and sects, locally called Deras. Mr. Channi belongs to the Ravidasia community of Dalits, which is a minuscule population of the total Dalits. Dalits about what is a percentage 30 plus, but here the CM candidate belongs to a particular Dalit community. The editorial says that is a minuscule population of the total Dalits. Minuscule means what? Extremely small, tiny. Whether he can galvanize a larger politics of aspiration shared among all communities overlooked in the traditional power sharing models of the state remains an open question. A bit difficult to understand, but first you have to know the meanings of two words. Galvanize means what? Shock or excite someone into taking action. Make someone do something or make someone take action. Whether he can galvanize a larger politics of aspiration Larger politics of aspiration. Another important word, aspiration, a hope or ambition of achieving something. Here, in this context, other communities, whether they have that aspiration or not, whether he can galvanize a larger politics of aspiration shared among all communities, and this particular aspect overlooked in the traditional power sharing models of the state remains an open question. Whether he can do it or not, that remains an open question, means we cannot decide, unpredictable. But Mr. Channi does deserve the support he has found from the party. Now, the editorial says the CM candidate, he deserves the support he has got from the Congress party. He has not been long enough in power to be judged for his track record. He has become the CM recently, so he hasn't been in power, the mantle, for a long time. Based on because of the short period, we cannot judge how good he is. He has not been long enough in power to be judged for his track record as CM. But Mr. Channi is a good storyteller and has a good story, which are essential ingredients for any successful politics. Editorial says for success in politics, we need a good story, we need a good storyteller. And in this case, it says the CM candidate is a good storyteller and has a good story to narrate, which are essential ingredients, elements for any successful politics. His prominence will, in all likelihood, set off reactions from Jat Sikhs and upper caste Hindus, considerable segments of whom have been with the Congress. It talks about projecting a Dalit candidate as a CM and Mr. Charanjit coming into the limelight and achieving or getting the prominence. Prominence, an important word, means what the state of being important, famous, or noticeable. His prominence will, in all likelihood, set off reactions, and these reactions likely to be negative from Jat Sikhs and upper caste Hindus, considerable segments of whom have been with the Congress. These two segments have been with the Congress for quite some time. Opponents of the Congress, who are the opponents of the Congress in the state of Punjab, the Shiromani Akali Dal BSP alliance, the BJP led alliance, and the Aam Aadmi Party, three groups are there, will try to inflame the resentment among these communities to corner the Congress. Some communities are not happy with the Congress, and the three parties will try to inflame. In a way, it is like adding fuel to the fire, the resentment among these communities to corner the Congress, to trouble the Congress party, and they try to encash the resentment among these communities. What is the meaning of the word resentment? Bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. We got this word yesterday or day before yesterday. You feel very angry because you have been treated unfairly. Then we use the word indignation. We can also think of the word resentment. The Congress is accused of playing caste politics by promoting a Dalit. Now, already the editorial has mentioned Congress has never resorted to something like this, pronouncing caste politics or social justice based on communities. Now, the opponents in the sense of opposing parties, those three parties, the Congress is accused of, they are trying to accuse Congress, accuse, point out, allegation, accusation. The Congress is accused of playing caste politics by promoting a Dalit, and it is notable the rotation of power among the dominant Jat Sikhs for decades rarely caused such concerns. In the past, already it has been mentioned, Jat Sikhs, they were at the top for quite some time. And not even one non-Jat Sikh chief minister since 1977. That did not cause much concern. But in this case, promoting a Dalit candidate as a CM, it is going to make an impact and it is going to cause some sort of resentment among the groups. Perhaps that itself is proof that Mr. Channi deserved this chance. So that's all about the editorial. It ended abruptly. That's what I feel. So ended abruptly. The editorial ended abruptly means what? Suddenly. What exactly the editorial wanted to convey. The decision of the Congress party to project a Dalit as a CM candidate, it says, the editorial says it's a bold gamble, not bold decision. There are two things here. Bold decision is one expression, usually we use that. But in this context, the editorial has used bold gamble. Gamble means risk. Related to polity, not that important, but so many words are there. Obviously, that way it is important. And what are the questions you can think of based on this editorial? What is this editorial about? What is the plea often taken by the Congress party? Always look at the key words. Plea taken by the Congress party. Three key words. What appears to be unraveling in the state? Something appears to be unraveling. What appears to be unraveling in the state? Again, you have to look for those words. What is an audacious move which will have ripple effects? Two keywords, audacious move and also ripple effects. Who are not a homogeneous category in Punjab? One word is enough for you to locate, and definitely you can write the answer. Now let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. The first five questions. Today I have brought some new exercises after a gap of so many months. Uh, First five questions, as usual, error location. Try to read the first one and locate the error. Please go to the first question. Yes, that is right. It is widely believed. You don't have to go beyond that. It is widely believed it is not correct. You should understand here the helping verb to be is there, and then you have to think of passive voice. It is in present tense passive voice. Any sentence in passive voice, the main verb is always in past participle form. Based on that, we cannot say believe, we have to say believed. It is widely believed that the village which is situated on the eastern coast of India will be wiped out within a decade. So that means some people believe that. What is the idea in active voice? We believe that active voice. It is believed that, or it is widely believed that. This is present tense passive voice. It is always better if you make a note what the question is about. Present tense passive voice. Then that helps when it comes to consolidation of your knowledge. Please go to. Yesterday I met an old friend when I'm going to the market. This is rather easy. The very word yesterday, you should become alert and you have to tell yourself it has to be. What is this five finger exercise, Madhav? Yesterday I met. Yesterday I met. Nothing wrong. It is in past. It has to be in past. An old friend. Something happened in the past. What happened? I met an old friend. That is perfect. When I'm going, here you cannot use present continuous, you have to use past continuous. When something happened, that time something was going on. So it is a combination of past continuous tense plus past tense. The first use of past continuous tense. While I was going, I met someone. I was going. Something happened in the past, past tense. That time something was going on, past continuous tense. Easy to attempt. We have used an idiomatic expression. That's good. The criminal was sentenced to death and was hung for his crime. This is also an easy one. If you remember confusing verbs, 1 second, you should be able to spot the error. Madhav, hold your horses, buddy. Oh, good. You guys are using idioms. That's wonderful. Here, within a second, once you read, next second, you should be able to. We have confusing verbs. One of them, hang. If you take the word hang, the verb, it can be a regular verb, it can be an irregular verb. As a regular verb, what are the forms? Hang, hanged, hanged. It goes with persons, to kill a person with a rope. And hang, hung, hung. This is a irregular form. This goes with things. Here we are talking about a person, the criminal. Then we cannot say hung. We have to say was hanged. This is in past tense passive voice. They hanged him. He was hanged by them. Was hanged. An easy one, provided you know the rule and you remember. There are two things over here. One, you have to remember, you have to learn and remember. The other one, when you read the sentence, you should be able to recollect. That is important. Question number 4. Elon Musk is determined to be success in whatever field he chooses. To be success in whatever field he chooses. Yes, to be success is not correct. Here we have to use successful. Successful. And the question is based on word forms, right word, wrong form. Successful. It is not to be succeeded, not correct. No, it should be to be successful. Please remember, you have to be successful. Some people may say, I want to be successful in life. Successful person, that is an adjective. We have to use the adjective form. Successful venture, successful career, successful person. The last question based on error location. New purchasing power will increasingly come from Asia and Africa, where the demographics are still favorable for high income growth. Unfamiliar context, a lengthy sentence. You got to read the sentence meticulously, respect every word. No, you don't have to change the preposition. Nothing wrong with favorable for. Absolutely no problem. You don't have to use a to. Many of these questions are cakewalk. Good. 3 idioms have been used by the students. That speaks volumes about the improvement in standards. No, no, you don't have to use favorable for high income growth. Very good. Who is this? Ahmed is the first person to say no error. After that, Rajshekar. Then I see Pradeep Kumar. Very good. There is no error whatsoever. Sentence is grammatically, contextually perfect. Please respect the fifth option. Please go to the next set of questions, fillers. Even these questions are easy, should not be a problem. There is nothing to indicate the building's past. There is nothing to indicate the building's past. Foster, you cannot use foster. What is the answer? Except. There is nothing to indicate the building's past except the fireplace. Included, no. Belong, no. Barred, not correct. Barring would have been correct. Foster does not go with this context. Foster child, someone who has been taken care of and brought up by someone. Foster child, adopted. Two circus elephants that perform together when crossing paths 23 years later. This is, you have to look at the options carefully based on your grammar knowledge. Foster, another meaning, encourage, of course. That is right. Foster growth means encourage. Oh, very good. Accept, accept, expect. You guys today, you guys are in high spirits. Looks like that. A lot of students are coming up with words, idioms. That's very good. What is the answer? Two circus elephants that perform together. Were happy would have been better. Believe not relevant. Angered, it's a positive context. Greater, not at all. Rejoiced means felt happy, enjoyed, celebrated. When crossing paths 23 years later, answer is the fourth option. Very good. The law, farmers not only to save and resow, multiply seeds, but also to sell them to other farmers. No matter what the original source of the seed is, sow the seeds related to farmers. Even this one is easy. Coverts, implements, emits, permits, deserts, stakes go up. Yes, it is the no, not the third option. Permits is the answer. That goes with the context. The law allows, the law permits. You have to think of related words as well. That helps in the long run. The law allows, the law permits farmers to do something. Very simple. Other words, covert means it goes with politics. Do something secretly. A particular person leaves a particular party and goes to another party. And what is the intention behind to get the inside what is happening in the second party? Then we say he's a covert, secret operation. Implement, execute, emit, to send out, desert, to abandon, to leave, not the answers. Small farmers must be educated and with proper incentive structures to engage with agriculture. Educated. So here it is a positive context. Discouraged, not correct. We cannot harvest farmers. Farmers harvest. We don't do that. Small farmers must be educated and fascinated. Fascinate means to attract. It does not go with the context. Encouraged, hold this one. Harvested, not relevant. Invited, no. Encouraged with proper incentive structure. They must be educated and encouraged with what? With proper incentive structures to engage with agriculture, to continue with agriculture, to be involved. Raipur, despite being between two rivers, the Krishna and the Tungabhadra, it is a dust bowl in May first week. Here, I don't think we have to use a pronoun it. Raipur, despite being surrounded, we need the preposition by. You don't see by. Located between seems right. Revealed. Reveal means disclose, make public. That goes with a secret, not relevant here. Settle, grammatically not correct. Answer obviously the second option. Located between two rivers. Easy. I have brought sentence rearrangement, scrambled sentences for the first time in, I think, in the recent past. I don't think so. At least I don't remember. So you got to read very carefully. Easy, should not be that difficult. 4 out of 5. Be happy. That's good. Even these you should get. Dust bowl means full of dust. Usually we say rice bowl, wheat bowl, rice bowl. Here, dust bowl, full of dust. Here, the merger of Bharti Infratel and merger means bringing two companies together, making one company. You need another one. The merger of Bharti Infratel and Indus Towers will create what? The world's second largest tower company. Based on that, you have to start with A. How many options with A? Only one option. That is the answer. But always cross check. And when it comes to sentence rearrangement, first you have to get the correct order, then recollect how you got it, and don't go with, okay, fine, here we have to start with A, only one option, that is answer. Go to the next question. Don't do that. Read the sentence, see if there are some words you can learn, see if there are certain grammatical units you can learn, and that will help in the long run. The merger of Bharti Infratel. Here, merger means you need two companies, two or three. Then you need the conjunction and. The merger of Bharti Infratel and Indus Towers will create something. Will create, ask the question, what? The world's second largest tower company. Then there's clarity. And if you look at the sentences that way, para jumble also becomes easy. Go to the second one. This is also an easy one. Okay. Rice bowl. Good. Upcoming visit to India cannot be the first one. During the US President Donald Trump, there is a possibility. Appears to be cannot be the first one. Here, the long awaited trade agreement, that seems the first one. How many options with B? Only one option, that is the answer. Let us cross check. The long awaited trade agreement appears to be off the table during US President Donald Trump's upcoming visit to India. Answer is BDCA. The long awaited trade agreement appears to be, you need the verb, appears to be off the table. Something appears to be off the table. When during US President Donald Trump's upcoming visit to India. Easy one. Sometimes you do come across certain things which are really, you are either shocked or taken aback. Off the table means not being considered. On the table, under consideration. Off the table, not going to be considered. It has taken a back seat, relegated to a different position. They may not consider. Look at the third one. No one has answered the third one. Very good. Balu Naik, first one to respond. No rearrangement required. Leaders of the Railway Employees Organization, verb, alleged what? That the government wants to hand over the rail infrastructure to whom? To the private operators for financial benefit. Perfect. Very good. No rearrangement required. That too within no time, highly appreciable. This is again easy. Fourth one is also easy. How come this long? The fourth one. It has to start with China has not yet given India the go ahead to send an. Here you can make out an aircraft with medical supplies. Some people talk about mandatory pairs, but I recommend in the exam you can use that to save time. But here, while practicing, try to understand the context, try to get the broad framework, try to get the continuity of thought. China hasn't yet given India the go ahead to send an aircraft with medical supplies to coronavirus hit Wuhan. So here, answer obviously. It has to start with A, then B, then DC. Only one option that begins with A. This is related to animals, birds, mammals. This is also an easy one. One quick look you can make out. Here, mammals and birds move from. When you see this expression, you have to think of one place to another place, one country to another country. Obviously, that should pop up. Based on that, mammals and birds move from one country to another country in search of food and shelter and for breeding with a change in season. Oh, there is this problem here. ACBD, let us consider. Obviously, it has to start with A. How many options with A? First one, only one. Mammals and birds move from one country to another country in search of food with a change in season, many and shelter, and for breeding. There's some problem here. There is some problem here. But if you look at the options, first option should be the answer. BA. Let us see. Ah, that's right. Now it falls in place. You have to start with a phrase. With a change in season, you cannot start with A, you have to start with B. How many options with the B? Only one option. With a change in season, many birds and mammals move from one country to another country in search of food and shelter and for breeding. Answer is D is the answer. No, 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 no. Answer is D. BACD. Someone has got it right. Who is that? BACD. Bharat. Very good. I appreciate. Others, Shreya also. Those who have said D, BACD, that is the answer. I appreciate. Very good. Murli also. And this is again for the first time in the recent past. Balu Naik, you got it right. Very good. I appreciate those who have got it right. Please go to the next set of questions. Misspelt or inappropriate? Question of the day. Yes, that is right, Varaprasad. The last one. Scrambled sentences. The manager balanced the strength of his team against that of their opponent and side. No, nothing wrong with side. What is wrong with that? Signed. No, no, you don't have to use the word sign. Why should you use? What is wrong with opponent? Here, in my opinion, no, nothing wrong with side. Means relaxed. Sigh means what? To relax. Nothing wrong with that. Here, the manager balanced the strength of his team against that of their opponents would be better. Not opponent, opponents and side. Nothing wrong with balanced, nothing wrong with strength, nothing wrong with side. Sigh of relief means what? To be relaxed, to relax. Here, opponents, not opponent, their opponents. We use a plural form. This is not correct. Here we have to add the letter S. Exactly, that is right. Nothing wrong with that word. Why should we bring the word sign? That does not go with the context. One evening, Rohan prepared. You don't have to go beyond. It should be. Please go to the next one. Easy one, not at all difficult. Please go to the next one. That is also easy. Absolutely no problem. There is one word, the previous question, tepid, means what? Lukewarm, not quite. Supper, Old English supper. Now we use the word dinner, the food you have in the night. Supper means morning breakfast, then lunch, night supper. Old English. Now we don't use the word supper, we use the word dinner. I hope you got it. Football, what is the spelling? There's a problem here. It should be double L, football, double L. From time to time, Jack would looking over Mungo's shoulder, suggesting tactics which invariably proved disastrous. Excuse me. Yes, breathe a verb, breath a noun. Take a deep breath means what? Noun. Breathe slowly means verb. From time to time, Jack would, looking over Mungo's shoulder, suggest tactics. Very good. Who is that? Balu Naik again. Suggest or suggested. From time to time, Jack would looking over Mungo's shoulder, suggested tactics which invariably proved disastrous. Already here would proved, that means the verb should be in the past. Suggesting is not correct, it should be suggested. That is right. Here you have to read the sentence very carefully. From time to time, Jack would take a pause, looking over Mungo's shoulder. Looking over Mungo's shoulder. That is one part. Suggested. Horrified, passengers saw Olive stumble and fall off a platform as an express roared in. This is also an easy one. Look over, looking over. Nothing wrong with looking over. You should know how to break the sentence. While looking over, he suggested. That's what it means. This is an easy one. Fall off. What is the spelling of that? OFF. It should be fall off. OFF, not single F. Let us go to the last slide, vocabulary enrichment. Editorial vocabulary. Reticent, that's an important word. Certain words are very important. Do remember, exam point of view, likely you may get these words. One of those are reticent. What does it mean? Reticent person, that means adjective. Not revealing one's thoughts or emotions. That is right. F is the answer. Reticent adjective, reticent person. Minuscule means what? That is again adjective. Extremely small. Plea, plead, related word. Here it can be, it has been used as a noun. What does it mean? Third one, no one has answered. I will, Ramesh. I'll bring tomorrow para jumble, cloze test. I will tell you, I have to spend some time. Not today, tomorrow. You are listening very attentively. That is good. Third one, a request made in an earnest way. A is the answer. Now I see your answers. Homogeneous group, heterogeneous, opposite homogeneous means what? Plead also means request a lot. Same thing. Of the same kind. It is also adjective. Volatile situation, usually we say, that means adjective. What does it mean? Easily evaporated or changing quickly. Volatile situation, changing quickly, not firm. Answer is a B. Entrenched, entrenched tradition, practices means what? Deep rooted. In this context, it is adjective. What does it mean? Volatile behavior, you can say. Firmly established. Unraveling mystery. Unravel is a verb. To solve the puzzle, investigate and solve the puzzle. Investigate and solve. I is the answer. Galvanize, that's an important word. Again, a verb means what? Excite into taking action. Make someone do something. Answer is D. Ripple effects means adjective. Small wave or series of waves on the surface of water. G is the answer. Prominent adjective, prominence noun means what? State of being important. E is the answer. I don't know how many of you have got all the 10 correct. That is really good. And thanks for being with me till 8:57. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. After the session, go to the description of the video. Click on Murthy's English Telegram group link. And also, I will provide the PDF. Work on important questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice